Hey, I hope you're doing good. It's Chris from 6-string finger picking, and in this lesson we're learning how to play a fingerstyle arrangement of Dancing in the Dark by Bruce Springsteen. So for this one, we've got a capo on the 2nd fret and we're in standard tuning, and the intro goes like this. Basically it just goes through that twice, and that's all over a static A chord. So speaking as if there were no capo, over a static A chord. So what am I doing here? Well, let's first have a look at the bass. What I'm playing is bass, tap, bass, bass, tap, bass, tap, bass, bass, tap. So the open A string, 1, 2, and 3, 4, continuously. And if that's too tricky, you could just play bass, tap, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's up to you. Whatever you can do, whatever you want to do, whatever you prefer the sound of. So that's what's going on in the bass, and then I'm just really adding a few strums here and there, and the melody. And the melody is going. So in its most basic form, we would have. Okay, so you may just want to practice that, playing that open A string on the first beat of each bar and then practicing the melody on top. But I'll do it in full. So I'll start holding down this first finger bar in the 2nd fret on the 2nd, 3rd and 4th string. I'll play the 5th string, the 4th and the 3rd together, followed by a tap, followed by a bass, and then on the next bass you're going to play a melodic line, which is the 2nd fret on the 3rd string. Then you're going to play that 3rd string, 2nd fret once more, and then you're going to play it again, but it's going to be with a tap, and therefore you want to do it with the back of your nail, a down pick, like that. Okay, so like that. So 1, 2. Tricky if you've not done that style before, that technique. But then we're going to play the 4th fret on the G string. Okay, that's your next melodic line. And then the bass note, and then the next melodic note is the 2nd fret on the B string. Okay, followed by a tap, bass, bass, and then I just do a few light strums. So immediately after that bass, I do a light up strum on the chord. That's followed by a tap, and then follow that by another light upstroke. Okay, so just that part is bass, so bass, bass, strum, tap, strum. That's what I do. So like that. That's followed by a bass, and then this bar, bar 3, is virtually exactly the same as bar 1, but I'll go over it again. So we're going to play the bass note, followed by a tap, and then bass, and then the next bass comes along, and if you remember from before, that's with the melodic note. So you play the 2nd fret on the 3rd string, and then that same note again, and then a tap with a down pick, same note, and then the 4th fret on the same string. So it's exactly the same as bar 1 basically. Here's bar 1, and then bar 3 is just. Okay, so then the last bar we play the bass note, and then we're going to, on the count of 2, down pick and try and get the 2nd fret on the 2nd string with that little tap. Okay, and then we're going to play the bass note with the 4th fret on the 3rd string together, and then a bass on its own. So that's like. Okay, followed by a tap, and with this tap, you're nearly there. You want to target the 3rd string, 2nd fret, and then up on the same string. Da-da, like that. So the last 2 bars. Right way back to the beginning, here's the intro once more, the first 4 bars. And that just goes through twice. And your target tempo is about 144 BPM. So that's the intro, just over the A chord. Practice, 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 and remember, do it step by step. Start with just the melody, then do a very simple bass line, then maybe make the bass line a little bit harder, and continually keep putting them together as and when you learn each kind of next step. And then the end goal is to have that really comfortable. Anyway, get that down, and then it's time for the verse. So once you've got that down, you're into the verse, and the verse is very similar to the intro. You just got to follow the melodic line, the melody line. So what Bruce is singing. Morning, and I ain't got nothing to say. I go to bed feeling the same way. So the first 8 bars were just on an A, and if you always think that the bass is always doing that, then you can just work on adding in some of the filler notes and getting the melody right. So the melody goes, so that's the G string, or the 3rd string, 2nd fret 3 times, and then once more, and then the 4th fret on the same string, and then the 2nd fret on the B string. So, and then you can add your bass. Like that. Okay, it's just you have to kind of take each part and then jigsaw it together. So like that, put the 2 together. Okay. And sometimes just before playing the 3rd string, I'll put the D string 2nd fret in there. Like that. I get up in the morning, tap, bass, bass, strum, tap, strum, bass, tap, bass, bass. So. And then exactly the same thing going on, but that's the melody. So that's the 3rd string, 2nd fret twice, up to the 4th fret on the same string, then the 2nd on the 2nd string, back to the 4th on the 3rd string, and then the 2nd fret on the 3rd string 3 times. Say goodbye to start with, and then maybe like that, and then if you're feeling up to it, you can try the bass, doing the double. Okay, kind of like that. And then you've got to jigsaw it all together. Okay, and then the next 2 bars are exactly the same as the first 2 bars of the verse. So you've done, once you've got that, you've done the first 6 bars. So I'll play that for you nice and slow. Get up in the morning, and then you got and just so you know, I'm doing pretty much the whole song just my thumb and index finger. The thumb's only job is to pull out the bass notes and add that light percussive tap. My index finger strums the strings very lightly and pulls out the melodic notes. I seldom use my 2nd or my 3rd finger in this. So if you watched it, I don't use these fingers. not to say you can't, I'm just saying I don't. You can just do it with these two. Anyway, the last two bars of this A chord. Okay, so that's the second string 5th fret. I go to bed 4 times. Then the second fret on the high E string. Then the second fret on the B string. Back to the second on the high E string 3 times. And on the last one, form your D chord because that's the chord you're going to next. So the melody. Okay, and just add your bass over the top. Like that. Okay, so then we're on to your D chord, a D chord. So here, okay. So on the D chord, the melody and the bass here. For the tab, and I actually just play bass tap, bass tap. So all I'm doing there on the high E string, 2nd fret, 3 times, then open high E, then I'll target the 3rd fret on the B string, and then open high E again. And then we'll be onto a B minor, and you're going to target the 2nd fret on the high E string again. So we can add our bass. So once you've played that last open high E, go to a B minor shape, and then play the bass note, which will be the 2nd fret on that A string, and then strum up on that chord. You should hit the 2nd fret. And then I'll just do a light strum to fill out the sound, and then the bass, and then strum a bit. So, okay, so from the D. Then on the next D chord we got so the melody. I'm just tired and bored with myself. Okay, so play the bass, little strum, and then 2nd fret on the high E string, and then a little strum just to fill out the sound, and then play that string again, the 2nd fret on the high E string. So that goes to your B minor, and then catch that 2nd fret again on the high E, light strum, and then open high E with the bass, and then open high E again, and then a little strum. So, sorry. Like that. So it goes D, B minor, D, B minor. So. Goes back to an A, and you're nearly done with the verse. You just got, then after that you got A and then F sharp minor twice, A, F sharp minor, and then it goes into the chorus. So this bit, so this is the chorus there. So back on your A. And then, so the melody comes out of, sorry. Open myself, hey there baby. So that's just, you land on your A chord by the bass, and then I'll play on the A chord, the 2nd and the 3rd string together. And then tap, bass, bass, and then the melody. So that's the G string, 2nd fret, then the 4th fret on the same string, and then the 2nd fret on the 2nd string. So, but then remember you have to go to the F sharp minor. So see that I wrap my thumb around the back and I play the 2nd fret on the low E string, just before I play the second on the B string. So after the 4th fret of the G, I'll play the bass note, which would then be the F sharp, and then the 2nd fret of the B. So, and then tap, bass, bass, strum, strum. Exactly the same on this F sharp as you were doing on the A, but it's just the bass note that's changed, that's all. And then we go back to the A. Okay, so on this A, we'll just play the bass, tap, bass, bass, and then 2, 2, 4 on the G string, which is exactly the same as the first bar of the, well, exactly the same as the A before. Okay? And then we go to the F sharp minor. So we play the bass note, 2nd fret on the low E string, and then, okay, so on the F sharp, we play the bass, and then we're going to play a 2nd fret on the 2nd string twice, then the 4th fret on the 3rd string, then the 2nd fret on the 3rd string, and that leads you to an E chord. Okay, so like that. So from the 2nd A here, it's like that, and then from the A before, into the chorus. Okay, so that's the whole of the verse. Let me play that through for you. Actually, I'll put the intro in there as well, and I'll play up to this point here. Into the chorus. So that's where we're going to leave it for this lesson, but the rest of it, if you want it, is available on the website. So if you're watching this on YouTube, just follow the links down in the description and you will get the rest of the lesson right away. Okay, so that's it for this lesson. I really hope you've enjoyed. If you did, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and head over to 6stringfingerpicking.com where you can get the remainder of this lesson and loads more fingerstyle guitar lessons.